Well, look, we did make mistakes when we were in government. Kemi's held our hand up and said sorry a number of times on immigration. As I said, it was the most important issue on the doorsteps in my constituency. And on this thing about reform threats, look, every other political party is a threat to the Conservative Party. In 2019, when we had the European election, I think we came fifth in the national poll. Less than 6 months later, we won the general election with the biggest majority since Thatcher. So a lot can
So you're not
change.
worried
A
about
lot
the
can
threat
change in
from reform?
politics. Look, a lot can change in politics over time. Another example, in the 2019 general election, who'd have sat here today and said Labour were going to win the next general election and have a majority of over 100? A day is a long time in politics. Of course, we need to take the threat from every political party, Labour and Reform, seriously, and we will work tirelessly to win back the trust of the British people.
Sonia, just quickly.
I mean, we've got to have a credible deterrent. The National Crime Agency, until the Labour government get a credible deterrent, like our Rwanda scheme that they have scrapped, these people will not stop coming to the country illegally. I mean, we're debating this afternoon in Parliament their new immigration bill, which actually allows people who've come here illegally to be within touching distance and able to get British citizenship. And that should be off the cards completely to anyone who comes here illegally. Well, no, we've set out our policy on immigration. We want that significantly to come down. I heard loud and clear on the doorsteps at the general election in my constituency of Broxbourne that people are fed up with the levels of immigration. You can't get your child into the school you want. There's real pressure on getting GP surgeries, appointments. So what we've got to do is we've got a large section of the population that left the workforce during the COVID pandemic. We've got to encourage them, make work pay, upskill them and get them back into the workforce. We don't necessarily need immigration to do that. We've got people here who are economically inactive, who we need to encourage back to the workplace, because the best form of welfare in this country is a well-paid.
Lots of people say that's pretty
the
generous.
NFU reckon the government's got their sums wrong on this. The Treasury's got their sums wrong. They're not opening to listening. I think this is a disastrous policy, and it's just a number of policies, whether it be this or house building. They have definitely got a war, Labour, with rural England, and they do not like farmers. I mean, Keir Starmer looked farmers in the eye before the general election and said he had no plans to change any of this. It wasn't in their manifesto, and then he done it anyway. They've basically got elected, thrown their manifesto in the bin, and say we're just going to do whatever we want to do. It's going to have massive ramifications for food production in this country, and it will destroy hundreds, if not thousands, of family farms. That's not what farmers are telling me. I haven't met one single farmer that agrees with this policy. I mean, I had boundary changes at the last general election, so I've got now farms in my constituency that would have had a Labour MP, and this whole talk around Labour MPs going out around the country speaking to farmers that are happy with this. I said, well, if you were in your previous constituency, would you be happy with this policy? They said, no, don't be silly, Lewis. Of course we wouldn't. So this will destroy family farms, and it would destroy British grown products.
But
are
you in favour of the government investing over £2 billion into sustainable farming?
I'm not in favour of this policy.
I'm asking about the sustainable.
Shocking comments in this WhatsApp group, and when the Labour government removed the winter fuel payment from pensioners, my own nan even said to me, I think the Labour government's trying to kill pensioners off. And now we've had a former government minister put in a WhatsApp group exactly that. I mean, it's just shocking comments, and there should be a full investigation as to what's. I mean, look, it's an important industry. I think we should try and be at the forefront of that. Of course, we've got to have regulation around the deep fakes. I was just remembering back about that deep fake that came out about Keir Starmer when he was at the Labour Party conference. Now, if you didn't know that was a deep, I mean, I listened to it. I thought that was him until it came out that we've disproved it, and it's a deep fake. So there's got to be stuff so we can combat all the misinformation around the deep fakes and what have you. But the government's rhetoric around economic growth, and we want to be at the forefront of this, the national insurance increases for this sector alone is a tax of 1.6 billion. So we're saying we want to be at the forefront of this. We want to go to all of these conferences. We want to encourage business growth. We want to encourage AI, and then we slap a big tax on it. That's not the best way to create economic growth and to get this industry thriving in the UK. I think there are things we could do to improve the education system to get people going through the system a better place for the world of work in the new decades that we face. I mean, look, we've got to regulate AI, but we've got to allow businesses to use it, because if we don't, we will get left behind in the global economy, which is bad for British businesses. If places like China and Russia and the United States, those big economies, get behind this more than we do, our businesses would just be priced out, which would be bad for the taxpayers in this country, bad for growth, bad for jobs. So we've got to allow businesses to use it, because we do not want to be left behind at this. We would much rather be at the forefront of this, and we need to just adapt and change the education system to get people ready for the jobs of the future.